you go.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. More bad news for streaming app Dazn. We unpacked. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, before I get started, sign up for ESPN Plus, the bundle. That's the new directive. That's what we're pushing. Right now, there's no live events in sports, so we're pushing the ESPN Plus bundle. That bundle includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps for $12.99. And if you click on my link, it's in the description box of all my videos. You'll see a hyperlink. Click on that. It does help the channel, helps us continue to grow, and also provide you with some content during this lockdown. A lot of people are quarantined, advised to stay at home, be safe. If you're unable to work or you don't have a job deemed essential, then a lot of us are cooped up in the crib. So if you need something to do, you need some content, that's definitely an option to explore. Click on my link, and it does help my channel in a tremendous way. Now, more bad news for Dazn, the streaming app. And I guess your boy Ego Stradamus strikes again, because I've been calling this for the longest. But without further ado, we'll talk about it. So this is Dazn's official US launching landing page, and you just click on Dazn. It says it's fight season, which we know is a lie, because it's not fight season. It's actually quarantine season. There's nothing going on. It says big fights, any device, one price. Stream a stacked lineup of fights. You get Canelo. You see this? Triple G, Joshua, many others, all for just one price exclusively on Dazn. Extent of available content subject to suspensions or cancellations by applicable authorities, rights holders, whatever that's supposed to mean. But anyway, we're in a pandemic, so everybody is now on hiatus with live events. And the pricing options, as you guys know, are either $100 a year and you save almost 60%, as opposed to a 12-month run at the monthly price, which they did raise. When they first came out, it was $9.99 in the States. In America, they've raised the price by 100%, aka doubled it, to $19.99. So it's $20 a month. It says you can pause or cancel anytime, right? Full access to all live and on-demand content. But as I've stated, there is no live content. Get every fight for the next 30 days, which is pretty much a continuation of the first check mark. And there are no fights for the next 30 days. You know, the UFC and ESPN and Disney, well, actually, the UFC tried to create an arrangement to hold and showcase UFC 249. Dana White was very insistent in making this happen and making this a reality. And the big wigs at Disney and ESPN Plus called him and says, you can't go on with this. And I told you, I talked about that. Basically, they don't want that on their watch. They don't want the blood on their hands. They don't want that on their watch if they hold the event, because you can't hold a professional combat sports with no doctors, no nurses, no EMTs, no medical staff, no referee, no fighters, you know, at least someone on their team, you know, possibly family members, Dana White, you know, a camera crew or someone to operate a crane. You know, it's too much people that you would have to involve, you know, the commission. So you don't just get in the octagon with the razor blade. Long story short, Disney shut him down. He got a call. He was, you know, saying he was going to do it on a private island and, you know, Indian reservation, wherever he was trying to do it, they shut him down. So that's just the reality of where we're at with this pandemic. But I told you right when this first started that I see Dazn really taking a major hit, and I think that time is now. And that's because it looks like it's backfired. Their game plan and their bread and butter was live events. You know, they came in the game saying that pay-per-view was dead and they were going to destroy the competition. And Eddie Hearn, who was really the face in boxing that was representing Dazn, came in with all these bright ideas. And, you know, a UK promoter said he was going to do an American takeover. We have yet to see any of these things. Now what we're reduced to is a landing page that can't fulfill its promises to its consumer. Like, it's fight season. It is not fight season at the moment. And unfortunately, you know, even though Donald Trump is losing a lot of money and millions at his properties, golf courses or Trump Towers or whatever, he was trying to reopen the economy and businesses for Easter. But it's not just his decision. States are governed by the independent governors of the states and stuff. So he doesn't have jurisdiction to open up everything in every section, you know, open up America like that. So I don't know if he knows the rules. But long story short, Donald Trump was shooting for an Easter reopen and said that was enough time, which I told you guys, if you listen to my live streams and whatnot, that wouldn't be the case. It's a pandemic. This is nothing to play with. People are losing lives. The numbers spiking in certain areas. The fatalities are increasing in certain areas, etc. So that went out the window. So ultimately, the bad side for Dazn and just businesses in general is nobody knows when we'll be cleared to actually have large gatherings again. I read a particular person in the medical science field who stated that concerts and live events and sporting events, it might not be realistic or feasible, even if they get this to calm down, for the next 18 months. So until the fall of next year, they said they might not be able to do large gatherings. So, you know, this is unprecedented and it's uncertain times and people don't know exactly what's going on. But I told you that in this process, since the sport I cover is boxing, the Dazn was going to hit the hardest. Again, you got two price points. This is why I say bad news, and we're going to keep going. I told you I'm going to unpack this stuff like I always do. You only got two price point packages. One is $100 a year, which we'll get into, which is literally, you see right there, it says a 58%, which is round up 60% savings from the monthly rate. That is ridiculous. Normally, like, let's say Disney Plus. I did the math. I have Disney Plus. You guys can use my link if you want to sign up for the bundle. But the thing is, Disney Plus is $6.99 per month, but they do have an annual package. I did the math, and it's very marginal how much you will save because I actually bought it for the year in advance. You see, with Disney Plus, because it was a reasonable price. And the thing is, with Disney Plus, it was a marginal, you know, I can actually show you since I'm live, plus annual price, right? So look, it's $6.99, right, for a year if you buy it outright, as I did, because I knew I looked at their catalog and it has tons of content. So that was a price I was willing to pay for Disney's huge catalog. So this would break down over the course of 12 months to $5.83 per month. So what you do here is you look at Google calculator, you know, we'll pull this up real quick, $5.83. So the monthly rate, if you just go month by month, is $6.99. Or if you buy it up front, it breaks down to $5.83. So that means for a 12-month basis, if you paid the $6.99 route, you know, as opposed to the annual, you would be saving $1.16 per month. I've already done this, you know, in my head before. That's one of the things I was like, okay, you know, I'll save a little bit of money. I'll just rather shoot them the $70. But with Dazn, this is completely different. It's $19.99 if you go individual month by month, right? So for 12 months, if you just forgot to cancel it or you just left it running for 12 months without actually transitioning to the annual package, it would be $239.88 unless you do the annual package, which is $99. So that's why it's 60% higher, which is ridiculous. So so I just showed you Dazn is actually $140 basically more expensive per year if you go month to month to month, you know, like kind of like a month to month no contract. That's ridiculous. That's 60% higher than the yearly, which I had to further get into the yearly. That's why I knew Dazn was going to take the biggest hit when it comes to that, because their price points are out of whack and out of control. You know, how is it that you could click on my link and get ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus, 3 powerhouses for streaming apps and digital content for $12.99, but 1 month of Dazn with currently no live events is $19.99. So you're paying more money for Dazn and you have a fraction of the content because they didn't choose to explore shoulder programming, which I've complained about since Dazn came around, right? And now you're seeing how this is not advantageous, right? You have nothing to really offer. Your bread and butter, like I've been saying, was the live event. So now you can't justify these insane prices when your talking points, your bulletins are live events and on-demand content. So let me get this straight. The on-demand content is, let's say, Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix show. I don't even know who watches that. You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I'm not really a fan of the commentary on Dazn. So I haven't even watched one episode. That's the honest truth. You know, maybe it's out there for somebody. But even worse than that, the business model is cockamamie, because this is what you're supposed to be getting the app for this on-demand content. But a simple YouTube search will reveal that Dazn has put this show on their YouTube for free. You see what I'm saying? Dazn Jabs. You see? Dazn USA YouTube. Dazn USA YouTube. Dazn USA YouTube. So this podcast that they have ain't even exclusive to the Dazn app. So how do you justify $19.99 a month, full access to all live events? I've already went over it. No live events for anybody. And your on-demand content, your interviews with fighters, which people like PBC are doing for free. You know, Errol Spence was just on with Ray Flores on PBC's Instagram. They just showed Wilder versus Stavern fight on their YouTube for free. They just showed Errol Spence versus Sean Porter on Premier Boxing Champs' YouTube for free. And every Saturday, they're going to put a free fight out that, you know, that has already happened. But to me, Sean Porter versus Errol Spence was my favorite fight last year. You know, it had everything. Action, 12 rounds, big fight, meaningful, unification, etc. So it's looking bad for Dazn, because how are you going to lock people in and get them to hang in there with you? Now, let me switch gears real quick. I told you we unpack. So Lance Pugmire, reporter with The Athletic, he has done some articles and you know, spoke with Dazn and got quotes from them, which took long enough. They didn't really initially come out and say anything. I made a video, in fact, before. Now, check this out. Lance Pugmire tweeted, "I'm told Dazn USA subscribers can pause their accounts online during this hiatus. In the meantime, Dazn has ramped up efforts for on-demand content like its new series, Saturday Fight Live, and Jabs with Mannix and Mora." Once again, I just showed you Jabs with Mannix and Mora is listed on YouTube, and I'm not going to show it for copyright reasons, but you can watch it on their YouTube. So why would someone pay $19.99 a month for on-demand exclusive, supposed to be exclusive content that you're slapping on your free YouTube that anyone can access, that has YouTube that is not like regionally blocked, like maybe certain areas like Australia or Taiwan or something might have a regional block where they can't watch that particular video, but I could watch it. So in the US, since that's the price points in the US, how come all of the US can watch it on this supposed to be exclusive? Now, the other thing is the annual customers who are really getting it. The annual customers, they've already paid $100 to save the 60%. Now you can't offer them live events. And how do you think the annual customers are going to feel about the so-called exclusive content all appearing on YouTube for free, and they've already paid their money? So you're not differentiating the content that is available for, you know, the public versus your exclusive members. This doesn't make sense to me. You know, I have tons of memberships and I pay annual things for, like, let's say Dropbox. I have a Dropbox cloud storage business account for my business, right? But I have increased features and more storage space in the cloud by paying extra for Dropbox Pro, you know, the Dropbox business account. So I have added features that aren't available with just the basic. Like, let's say the basic, they'll give you 500 gigabytes, for example, of cloud storage space, you know. But I have more. I have terabytes of storage space. So, you know, there has to be inherent differences. Or let's say Costco. When I walk into Costco, I have a Sam's Club and a Costco membership. You cannot get gas at Costco at the Costco gas pump, unless you insert a Costco membership that is active. That's one of the perks. And they have the cheapest prices in town. So that's a perk for me being an annual paying customer, right? You can't walk into the Costco warehouse without showing the Costco app and showing a barcode, or showing a physical Costco card. That's because these are bulk sale warehouse prices. And I buy all of the stuff, like, let's say toiletry, toilet paper, stuff you don't always run out, stuff that's going to always run out. I buy that in bulk at Costco all the time, you know, dog, like meat for the dogs, stuff like that. This is Costco. So there has to be a difference. If Costco allowed anybody to walk in and redeem all these deals and prices ongoing, then why do I have to pay for a $60, $70 Costco membership or whatever it costs? It wouldn't make sense. So Dazn has some real life answers. Now, the other thing with this tweet from Pugmire, he spoke with Dazn. He says they have they ramped up on-demand content in their new series, Saturday Fight Live. I don't even know what that is, because there's been a couple Saturdays in the quarantine, and I've seen, like I said, Premier Boxing Champs put on Spence Porter, but I haven't seen no Saturday Fight Live or whatever this is. I don't even know what that is. But the other one, like you can see on screen, that's available on YouTube. Saturday Fight Live. I don't even know what this is. Look, what is this? I don't see no information about this. I don't see anything. So I don't even know what that is or how to access that. You know, so someone would have to explain that, if you know, in the comment section. Look, boxing schedule April 6th. All these fights have been canceled. So this is all null and void. Dillian White, Povetkin, all this has been canceled. This was on the same card. So I don't even know what the first thing is. It's looking shaky, baby. I told you. I remember at the beginning of this whole thing, I stated my opinion. New media, digital mob. I told you, we control the narrative. And I said Dazn should have hired a person like me, because I'm really about this boxing stuff. You know, I said it was going to cost them, but I would have tied up these loose ends to the point where it made sense. But now, I don't know. It's looking too late. It's looking crazy. But anyway, I told you, you got to have someone in the world of boxing. It's a small niche community. You have to have people who know boxing and genuinely want the best interests of boxing to really thrive. Or you have to just be doing right by the fans, you know. That's the only way to survive in this cutthroat business. So they're saying you can pause your account. Now, the issue with that is this. What is the reason that anyone would pause versus canceling? Because Dazn, I already made a video about this. Dazn is increasing the price even if you're grandfathered in. Right? Look, Dazn raising the monthly price. Here, I'll find that. This one's Ring Magazine, and Golden Boy owns Ring Magazine, which is on here. And I've already made a video about all this. Look, we left breadcrumbs for all y'all. Right? Look, Markowski said that Dazn, he said they have 2 different categories, blah, blah, blah. All right, look, Markowski, he's the EVP with Dazn. He made sure to mention that current subscribers will be grandfathered in at that $9.99 a month rate before the new price points are activated Monday, March 25th, which is coincidentally my birthday. You know, shout out to the Aries and Pisces, you know, but that's my birthday date. Look at this. This tells you everything you need to know. The grandfathered in clause will be in play for 1 year, he stated. So that means that from March 25th of, this was last year that this article was written and these quotes were made, right? March 21st of last year, right? That means you're grandfathered in only for 1 year. You only have 1 year to redeem that price point and stay at $9.99. So there's a lot of people who are pausing. See, Dazn, one of Dazn's biggest problems that I've noticed is they are not transparent with their fans at all. And I think it's really foul, right? It's really foul what we're seeing happen, because your fans are almost being bamboozled in the fact that they really can't, you can't really justify what's going on. Like, for example, here's my thought. You're almost conning or tricking the fans. So this whole pause business, there's no reason to pause versus cancel that I've seen, because so you get this straight, because I want all boxing to see boxing. I'm not tied to any promotion or any one network. I'm my own entity and I'm here for boxing fans. So I don't like to see my people and my culture get taken advantage of. So just so you guys on the up and up, there are some people who are pausing their DAZN subscription in the false belief that by pausing it, it is going to lock them into the $9.99 a month price point, because that's what they've been paying. But DAZN not being transparent, that's not the case. DAZN has already confirmed that the grandfather stuff is over. I have emails from fans, and I made a video about this, and I have emails from fans that show that even if you were grandfathered in at the $9.99, that price point is ending. That price point is ending. Point blank, period. So you got people who are pausing their account because they think they're trying to salvage the $9.99 price point, but that literally is not happening. And that's the bamboozling, and that's the part I don't like, because DAZN is purposely not making this stuff clear. And I predicted this whole little stretch. I told you what it was and what it's going to be. But just so you guys know, the $9.99 is going away for everybody. It don't matter if you have the $9.99 right now. That's not going to be the case for much longer. And DAZN is, I'm trying to find this for you guys so you guys know what's going on. Like I said, this is my job. So as far as the grandfathered in accounts, just so you guys know, let's be clear. Let's be perfectly clear on this. It don't matter if you are grandfathered in under the $9.99 guys, your price is going up too. So there are a lot of people who think that, hey, I'm just going to pause my account instead of canceling it and then re-upping whenever this pandemic ends. But that's not the case. Even if you pause it, you are not, see, DAZN's not making this clear to you. Even if you pause it, you are not being locked into the $9.99 price point. Okay, I'll prove it. Boom. This is an email that I've obtained from a customer, part of Ego's Army, who was canceling their plan. And look what it says. DAZN says, no, the grandfather plan of $9.99 expired March 25th, 2020, which is, again, my birthday. They told you last year that even if you were grandfathered and locked, quote unquote, locked into the $10 price point, that you only had a year under that. And this is an email, official email from DAZN, and it tells you that. So nobody is going to have the $9.99. So guess it says going forward. Look at this is from DAZN. No, the grandfather plan of $9.99 expired on March 25th, 2020. Guess what? It's 2020. Going forward, the new rate will be $19.99. Boom. So this is bad for DAZN, as I mentioned. You know, I think I've been vindicated in my, whatever you want to call it, criticism or constructive criticism regarding DAZN. And there's just a lack of transparency there. And I don't like that for boxing fans. The pause thing is not this clever invention because you're pausing. Like, I can understand a gym membership pausing because gym memberships have sales and you might have signed up for your particular gym and got locked into a great price point because you signed up in the summer, and then let's say you get an injury and you tore up your knee, so you can't hit the gym for 4 months, we'll say. You can't hit the gym for 4 months. So in an effort to not lose that lower price point, because the prices in the fall have now went back up to whatever. So instead of paying $19.99 a month that you signed up to that gym for, you can freeze your account for, 6 months or so, aka suspend it, aka pause it, not get billed for those 6 months while you're rehabbing your knee. And then as soon as you jump back in the gym and you get the okay from your doctor or whatever the case is, now you're able to stay locked into the price point. But for DAZN, this is a perpetual problem. You're not really being locked into anything. You're being locked in. You're pausing. See, this is what I'm saying. This is not transparency, and it looks horrible. It looks horrible because it don't make sense. You're tricking people into making them believe that they're going to be the ones that are under the $9.99 price point. You're making it feel like, oh, okay, if you just pause it and then resume, you're going to come back to the $9.99 price. And it's not, right? As I've stated, and I've showed you all the proof from DAZN. It says going forward, the new rate. So DAZN can't justify these price points. I told you they were high last year. See, y'all didn't want to believe me. I told you that they should stop putting their content on YouTube, because you're taking away from the exclusivity of being a member. I told you these things, and now they show up. The prodigal son has returned. Ego Stradamus strikes again. Now, moving on. I told you I'm straight to the business. We getting straight to the money, straight to the bag with this one. We unpacked. The other issue is this. This tweet says, I'm told DAZN subscribers can pause their accounts online during this hiatus. Okay, cool. So you pause it, then what? You come back to a higher price point no matter what you are paying. The other major issue here, once again, lack of transparency, is what is the option for those people who have already paid and given you their money for the year? There's no option to pause your account if you've already paid for a year. So that only goes to month-to-month subscribers. The month-to-month subscribers can pause their account. So that can give them a break, even though the price point is going to jump up for everybody if you haven't already been hit with the $19.99. But what are you doing for your annual customers who expected boxing from January and Bellator from January to December, and now we haven't been able to get much boxing in March, April, not going to get it in May, and probably not even in June. That's 4 months out of a 12-month year, guaranteed that we're not getting no boxing. So you're not offering a prorated amount for the people who have already paid $99 up front, which is a ridiculous discount from the monthly price. This is just all messed up, and nobody's making this make sense to me. And then the whole thing, you're supposed to salvage that's supposed to keep people entertained is Saturday Fight Live, which I literally have no idea what it was. Googled it, nothing came up. And then a show that you put on YouTube for free. That's not good enough. You know, simply put, it's not good enough. Look, people are saying, where do you go to pause? Does anyone know if this applies to people who pay through iTunes? That's another issue. If you pay with Apple, like when I had Dazn, I paid with Apple Pay. He said, I don't see that option. When I sign up, I believe I applied through my phone and it automatically went through iTunes. Look, there's no pause button there. See? Bamboozling the customer. Your membership is paid through iTunes, next payment, blah, blah, blah. See, this I paid when I had it, but I canceled. Look, I had Apple Pay. So look, they haven't even worked out the bugs to the point where people who have paid through iTunes have the pause button. I told people Dazn was a scam. That's why I never gave them my credit card. Mannix and Mora, just the content subscribers want to see. And that's obviously someone being sarcastic. Lance will be getting a show next. See, people are just joking around and like roasting. Does this mean people who have paid for a year will get it added on when it's supposed to finish? That is fair enough if they do that. Once again, there's no communication. Dazn is blocking people from canceling their subs. I heard it's a scam. How are they doing that? And if it's true, it's wrong. Why does anyone want to be with someone if they got nothing to put on? Exactly. I told you, I predicted this whole thing. Let's hope people remember this when they are asking people to pay up front for a year again. Some people are paying out of pride. Laughing my ass off. A loyalty for an app with zero content. This is bad. I told you. And this ain't even me. This is just people. Fools, I would be straight out of anything if I was not getting any service for it. Michael, you will continue to have access to tremendous content from Matchroom, Golden Boy, Bellator, and the Pat McAfee Show. Fantastic value at less than $10 with your annual. That's not none of that stuff is going on right now. Look, people asking the same question that I just posed. What about people who have purchased annually? No answers. This has been an option for monthly subscribers for a long time. Not sure if this applies for the yearly. It's weird that they don't have every De La Hoya fight on there. That might be HBO. Man, this is just a bad look. Like I said, you have no resolve for your people who made the biggest pledge by paying this yearly. How you pause a yearly thing you've already given them the money for, and you're not getting the content. And then when you go to Dazn's official USA verified page, look, verified Dazn, almost 1 million followers, right? They talking about download the app and sign up here. Look, they got all these old fights and shit and quotes. Look, stupid stuff. What is this? Choose your quarantine house. So instead of addressing the actual populace who have paid money and need answers to see how, they can get refunded or whatever, you putting up little quizzes and MySpace surveys and shit. But people have questions about how to actually cancel and they can't find those answers. This is just bad, bro. This is just bad look. Very bad look. Look, Dazn Canada. Let's see what they talking about. There is no Premier League. Maybe 2021 when it's back on. See, look. This is canceled. All this stuff is canceled for the moment. So what are people supposed to be watching right now? Like I said, they relied all the way on the live event. And now they don't have no live events. So you got to explain to me what you would be paying for. And it's funny. I predicted this whole scenario. I told you they had to work on that type of stuff. They weren't expansive in their shoulder programming at all. Like they didn't have really a vast variety of things that you could watch and that would probably entertain you. that would entertain you for the time being in the event. And I feel like every company should have, like, nobody expected the pandemic. I get that. Nobody's anticipating that, but you still have to have content regardless. You need content regardless of what's going on in the world. See, look, this is a tweet from a Dazn customer. I can't get an answer. The agent on live chat said they have made no decision, no pause option, no promo, no free trial. While small businesses are doing everything possible to satisfy customers, this £3 billion company is acting like there is nothing going on. Its leadership can't see the need to establish themselves as an essential service to those who are paying now. Commit to us. See, people are getting hostile and angered and triggered because they're like, hey, well, there's no pause button for the annual people. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do if we've already paid into you? You gotta, it's all about transparency. You gotta come forth and come clean. Again, nobody anticipated a pandemic and, the earth being shut down like this and live events, but you could still have a plan B for anything, because you never know. Like when 9/11 hit, there was a crazy recession. The housing market, you just got to be prepared and equipped for everything. And Dazn came in boastful, especially with people like Eddie Hearn talking about American takeovers and, they were going to do this, and talked about fights, clout chase fights like Antonio Brown, Logan Paul, all this stuff. And it's looking real bad. And right now, this makes it worse to me, is you're doing choose your quarantine house and little games and stuff like that. And all these like postcard, who comes out on top, these fantasy fights and old fights and pictures of Mark Wahlberg, and you're posting all this stuff, but what about the answers people truly need about your service? Like what am I paying for with no live events? I've already given you $100 of my money, the real stuff. The real questions people have. Like, look, what does it say? Fight season lineup: Dillian White versus Povetkin. Okay, not happening May 2nd. Usyk versus Chisora, canceled. Canelo coming soon, canceled. Triple G was about to fight a guy with 5 knockouts anyway, so no one even cared about that fight. Canceled. And no, God, Max. Anthony Joshua, canceled. Bro, all this stuff is canceled. And they talking about, how do I get started? Man, stop it. You did your platform, I told you, the business decisions. Now I can understand why they furloughing employees, and Dazn, it said Dazn don't want to pay the rights fee. Look, Dazn furlough, boom. Dazn plans on withholding rights fees and furloughing employees in the wake of the live sports shutdown. So they don't even want to pay their partners. Here's the original article, I guess. And I already made a video about this. Dazn to withhold rights fees for canceled content. So let me get this straight. Dazn is telling companies, Dazn has started telling sports leagues that it will not pay rights fees for any games that have been suspended or content that has not been delivered because of the Rona pandemic, according to sources. So let me get this straight. Dazn gets to furlough employees and save money by not paying their partners, because their partners, literally based on jurisdictions and guidelines and advisements from, prime ministers and presidents and local and state governing bodies, can't run games. So Dazn's going to save money by not paying them when they're under contract with them. But all this stuff with the fans, you still taking their money. You're still, look, if you grandfathered in, you still going up in price, right? You're giving people the option of pause, which is no different than canceling it. The only difference is by pausing it, you keep their credit card information on file. And as soon as you deem that you can resume, or an elapsed time, like let's say it's 6-7 months, then you can start charging them, and they may forget about it and you still charging them. Everybody, I advise you, if you like the content, keep them. But if not, you should cancel instead of trying to pause. I don't see why you would even want someone to be able to rebill you when they want to, or set a timer, 7 months, 6 months, and then just start rebilling you. If you want Dazn and you want to keep it, that's your business. But me personally, I would say cancel it And then when they come back correct, then, you know, if you see fights you like, then order them again. But, you know, I don't know. Me as a consumer, maybe I'm different. Maybe I'm old school, but you got to give me some answers. And my email is chock full of companies hitting me up and asking for, I can't say forgiveness, but yeah, asking me to work with them as a consumer because they're getting hit hard with this Rona. Everybody is. You know, people are losing money. I get it. But DAZN is worried about DAZN. They withholding the rights to, you know, the leagues and premier leagues and soccer leagues and stuff because they're losing money. But then they're not showing how they're going to help the consumer. They're not making it easy. People are saying, oh, I can't find the pause button. How do I pause? They're not telling you enough information. If you're an annual member, what you supposed to do. They're not saying, hey, and I don't want to hear it's too late. See, I shouldn't have to make these videos. How come I got to make these videos? And then now all of a sudden, since I made a fuss, new media way, you know, we kick up dust, and then all of a sudden they're going to come out and say, oh, we're going to extend and give you an extra 3-4 months or whatever. You should have done this on your own. You should have did this in the first place. This is just foolishness. We unpacked. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.